Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now, going into this movie, I'm going to be flat out honest with you. From my memory, and I haven't seen these movies in a while, this was my least favorite of the bunch. Goblet of Fire was my favorite going into that one. And I think Goblet of Fire remains the best of the 4 I've seen so far in this series. Let's see if Order of the Phoenix changed my mind. Harry Potter returns to Hogwarts after Voldemort has risen. And he feels like he's not getting the proper education because of a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. So Harry Potter takes it in his own hands to teach his class and starts a secret club called the Order of the Phoenix. Overall, this movie is a mixed bag for me. It's mixed. I don't really like it all that much, to be honest. But I'll start off with the positives here. First of all, I like the propaganda subplot. The Ministry of Magic doesn't want to acknowledge the fact that Voldemort has returned because he doesn't want to fearmonger people, and Dumbledore and Harry Potter are struggling to get the Ministry of Magic to spread awareness about Voldemort. And I thought that subplot was interesting. The one thing that steals it for me in this movie is the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. This girl is the original fucking Karen. What's her name? Dolores Claiborne? I thought she was so hateable in this movie. And we all know a girl like this. We all know a girl who's so like this. I remember while watching the movie, I took a snap of a certain scene where she was acting like a Karen, and I wrote the name of the person that we were all thinking about, and I sent it to my friends on Snapchat, and they were like, yes, accurate. There's that montage of her going around and saying, new rule, la 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 la. And it's like so much Karen vibes that I just freaking hated her. Like, Kenneth Branagh's Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, he was kind of hateable, but kind of charming at the same time. Then you had people like Mad-Eye Moody and Professor Lupin, who are just charismatic. This girl, just hateable, and I liked how this movie went in that direction of just making a truly hateable character. Oh, one more thing about that, by the way. In close-ups, did the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher look like Will Ferrell to you? This is so weird to me. Every time there was a close-up on her face, it looked like Will Ferrell. I don't know what it is. I might be crazy. I might be off my rockers. But yeah, this Karen, oof, I wanted to slap her across the face. You can't slap women, ladies and gentlemen. But if you were to slap a woman, and if there was a woman who would deserve a slapping across the face, it would be the girl in this movie. Not the actress. The actress did a phenomenal job. I'm talking about the fictional character in this movie. I'm gonna stop talking before I say something I shouldn't. But yeah, this character... Okay, enough! The main problem I have with this movie is that the movie doesn't feel like a step forward, nor does it feel like a step backwards. It kind of just feels like nothing, which is weird. Usually these Harry Potter movies, they like progress the characters in a certain way. I don't feel like Harry Potter evolved as a character. I don't feel like Hermione evolved as a character. I don't feel like Ron evolved as a character. A lot of the side characters are kind of put off to the side. Hagrid's not in this movie all that much. Dumbledore is not in this movie all that much. Every time Harry Potter wants to talk to Dumbledore, Dumbledore is too busy and neglects him. Professor McGonagall, I don't even think is in this movie. And this movie is Harry Potter training his classmates, and when the final battle comes around, the only classmates that are there are the blonde chick, I forget her name, Luda, something. Her and Neville Longbottom, or I think that's his name. I suck with the Harry Potter names, they're too crazy for me. But yeah, so it kind of feels pointless that he's like training the Asian girl and his classmates, the Indian girls that he went to the prom with in the previous movie. It all feels kind of useless because we don't see them fight. Which, yeah, I had a problem with that. It makes the whole movie feel kind of pointless. The score here is also something that left a lot to be desired, and maybe it's because we've been spoiled with John Williams' classic score for the first 3 movies. But even the 4th movie, even though it was lacking John Williams, it still managed to do an okay score. This one, the score was not that good to me. It left a lot to be desired, and the look of the movie is a little murkier, it's a little gloomier. I feel like the story wasn't all that interesting, the score. I just feel like this movie had a lack of heart. It kind of feels that way. And I'm not saying that the director, David Yates, did a bad job per se. I just feel like it feels a little uninspired, whereas the first few Harry Potter movies, you can feel that little touch of magic in each one of them, each in their respective rights. I feel like Alfonso Cuarón in Prisoner of Azkaban just put his little touch of magic in there, and it made it feel so much awe, and I feel like that's lacking in this movie. It just feels like a little gloomy, a little meandering. As far as characters go too, I hate it in movies when a character will be needlessly moody or needlessly a jerk. And I feel like Harry Potter, towards the beginning of this movie, he's really treating his friends like an asshole. And I understand he's under a lot of pressure, but a characteristic like that doesn't want to make you root for the main character. Someone who snaps that easily, it doesn't make you want to root for the protagonist. And if it was one scene of him doing it, I would understand. But he repeatedly does it in the beginning of the movie. He'll like treat Ron like shit and treat Hermione like shit. And if I were friends with Harry Potter in this movie, I would have told the fucker to fuck off, man. Like, jeez, I'm trying to be a friend here, you know? Okay, I might not understand what you're going through. You got the freaking scar on your head, but jeez, you don't have to treat me like shit. I would have said that word for word. Also, like, while watching this movie, there was a lot of questionable effects, and I get this is an old movie, but when you compare the troll in the bathroom in the first Harry Potter to Hagrid's half-brother in this movie, the half-brother looks awful in this movie. I don't know what they were thinking. They could have made it easily like some guy who's just bigger and do some camera trickery to make him look bigger. I feel like they could have went down that route with the giant in this movie. But he just looked so bad. Like, it was actually jarring to me how bad he looked in this movie. And I feel like they basically just introduced that character for one scene, and then he comes back at the end and it's done. They don't give Hagrid a lot to do in this movie besides introduce the characters to his half-brother, who comes to save the day at some point towards the end of this movie. And what I liked about the early Harry Potter movies is that it felt like high school. 1 and 2 feels like when you first go into high school. 3 and 4 feels like going through puberty in that awkward phase of you trying to talk to girls but you're not quite adequate yet. This one kind of feels like nothing. And that's what I mean by the characters didn't grow in this movie. It feels like a whole lot of nothing went on in this movie. So, this is my least favorite Harry Potter movie so far. I'm gonna warn you guys, I didn't like 6 as well, but I haven't seen it yet. I'll let you guys know if my thoughts have improved on the film. But yeah, definitely Order of the Phoenix is the least interesting one to me.
Harry Potter, you will lose everything.